Good morning and welcome to MetroWest Medical Center. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us as we deliver some important safety tips to our local community. We want to remind the public that your neighborhood hospital is ready here to serve you through our emergency department and is open to care for all emergencies and urgent needs that you or your loved ones may have. If you or loved ones are facing a medical emergency or there's something wrong with your health or theirs, we urge you to seek care and not stay at home. We're here to serve you. Any atypical health signs or symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, irregular speech, drooping your face, they may be common signs of heart attacks or stroke, and again, we would urge you to call 911 and seek care immediately. Joining me today are some of our local community partners to discuss some of these summer-specific emergencies that your families may experience. The Framingham Fire Chief, Michael Dutcher, is here along with John Banzel from Brewster EMS and Dr. Lisa Sautier from the MetroWest Emergency Department. We hope that you have a wonderful summer as we move through COVID and that you're able to experience some time with your family and friends and that you do so safely. But if you do run into trouble and you do need help from MetroWest Medical Center, we're here to serve you. Chief?
Good morning, and I'd like to thank MetroWest Medical Center for having us as part of our safety team. I think we make a really great team along with Brewster EMS. EMS in fire safety in Framingham is very strong. I'm going to talk about a few things today. I'm going to start off with grilling safety. This is a great time of the year to get outside. We've been stuck inside for a while, and it's a great time to get outside and do some grilling. Some of these things may seem real basic, but over the years, in my experience, people don't always heed to common sense. So I'll give some good common sense tips. One, always grill outdoors. I think we're getting a little chuckle here, but you'd be amazed at what you see sometimes. Grills cannot be used on a porch, balcony, or deck that has a roof covering. Grills cannot be used on fire escapes. Always place grills away from the house and deck and railings. The radiant heat can catch the railings or the side of the house on fire, and we don't want to have to come see you under those circumstances. Keep all matches, lighters, and lighter fluid away from children, and try to keep children and pets approximately 3 feet away from grills. Children should never play near grills or propane cylinders. I'm going to break this down a little bit into the two types of grilling propane grills. Keep all propane outdoors and at least 10 feet away from building openings such as doors, windows, and dryer vents. Propane is heavier than air and will seek a lower level. If it finds an ignition source, then you'll be seeing us under not so good circumstances. Do not smoke while handling propane. Again, common sense, but something that's very important that I think we need to push. And always store propane cylinders upright in an outdoor shaded area. And do not leave propane in vehicles. Charcoal grills. Use only charcoal starter fluid. Do not use gasoline or kerosene to start a grill. Never add lighter fluid to burning briquettes or hot coals. Doing so may cause a flash fire that could result in very serious injuries. For proper disposal of grill ashes, allow the coals to burn at least 48 hours before disposal. If you must dispose of ashes before they are completely cooled, thoroughly soak them in water before putting them in a metal container. We do not want any coals in wood containers. That's a combustible container. We don't want that. So one of the big things that I'm going to talk about now, I'm going to move on to fireworks. Let me be clear. Fireworks are illegal in Massachusetts. It is illegal to transport them into Massachusetts, even if you buy them, if they were purchased legally elsewhere. They are illegal in Massachusetts. Sparklers something simple that kids can play with, sparklers can burn up to 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the average house fire that's probably even a little bit hotter than the average house fire. the temperatures inside. So it's very significant temperatures. And most importantly, you don't want to come see our friends here at MetroWest Medical Center. Leave unexploded fireworks alone. Keep a distance of 20 to 30 feet if you see them, and call 911. Fire pits, another very popular outdoor activity during the summer months. More people are home, and that has led to a significant increase in use. In Massachusetts, there are no regulations for fire pits. However, here are some helpful hints. Make sure the fire pit is, at a minimum, 10 feet away from any structure or neighboring yard. 25 feet is preferable. Do not position a fire pit under a covered porch or low-hanging branches. Always place a fire pit on a non-flammable surface, such as patio blocks or concrete. Do not put a fire pit on a wooden deck or directly on grass. Gas too, I think. Only use clean, dry firewood. This produces less smoke. Here are some items that are prohibited from burning. Trash, construction materials, leaves, or any sort of similar materials. In general, any material which creates a nuisance or a condition of air pollution, excessive smoke, or a hazard to others is prohibited. The fire department may be called and may put out the fire or may request that you put out the fire. Lastly, I'm going to talk about gasoline and lawnmower safety. Gasoline vapors are highly flammable. They can stay on your clothing and ignite if you light or match a cigarette if you get it on you. Store gasoline only in approved containers outside or in a building not attached to the house, like a shed. Never keep gasoline in the home. Keep gasoline away from all heat sources such as smoking materials, pilot lights, campfires, and grills. Never fuel a lawnmower while it is hot. Let it cool off first. Keep hands and feet away from a mower while it is running. All of these tips and more can be found on www.mass.gov, Department of Fire Service Outdoor Safety. I'm going to turn this over to our Brewster partner, John, and he's going to talk about water safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And first and foremost, thank you to MetroWest Medical Center, our partner, and to the great city of Framingham to allow us to provide quality 911 service to all residents and visitors of Framingham. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about water safety. Water safety is something that I think we mostly take for granted. We take for granted because we have pools in our backyard, we have a lot of bodies of fresh water locally, as well as oceans right in our back door. Many people in the area learn how to swim when they're young, however many do not. And when a drowning occurs, it can be tragic. Drownings don't just happen to adults, they happen to children. According to CDC, 1 in 5 drownings that are fatal involve a child under the age of 14. We have to remember that proper adult supervision is necessary when a child is swimming, whether in the pool out in the backyard, the pond, at the cottage, or the ocean, where so much of us like to go and play. Also have to remember as an adult that swimming with a partner or a buddy is a good idea. More adult drownings happen when a person goes out by themselves and doesn't have anybody to help them out. Drownings are often not what we see in Hollywood, where it's loud, a lot of splashing. They're generally very quiet and can happen in a matter of seconds. They are tragedies that can be prevented, such as using proper flotation devices that are approved by the Coast Guard, supervising our children as they swim, as well as learning how to swim. Learning how to swim programs through the YMCA, the Red Cross, are great ways to not only get in the water and cool off during our hot summer months, but to learn how to swim and potentially save yourself. Other parts of water safety that we have to consider is going out on a boat. But when we go out on a boat in the ocean, we know that the Coast Guard is around. We know that our local harbor masters are around and our great environmental police are around. However, when we go into fresh water, sometimes we take these for granted. Remember, even if operating something as simple as a kayak, a personal flotation device approved by the Coast Guard should be used. If you do have an emergency in the water, the best thing to do is not to panic. I know that's easy for me to stand up here and say, and as somebody with 18 years of experience in the emergency field to say, however, it is crucial in helping the person out. Use the reach, throw, go method. If you can reach out to them safely, or send them a pole or skimmer and get it out to them safely, do that. If you have a life safety ring, throw it to them. Try to let them hold on. And if you're competent in your skills and you feel that you can effectively make a rescue and not become a victim yourself, then you would ultimately go. However, if you do not feel like you're able to go, call 911. We're willing and ready and able to respond to your water emergencies. Another thing that can't be said enough is to learn CPR. CPR is one of those skills, especially now, where it can take 10 minutes to learn and can save a life. It can truly mean the difference between somebody living and dying. We want everybody to enjoy the water this summer. We want everybody to have a fun and safe summer. But if you just use some of these tips, it'll help you on your way. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Sotier. I'm the chairman of the Emergency Department at MetroWest Medical Center. Thank you, Chief, and thank you, John. I appreciate you guys coming and sharing those tips. I did want to mention a few more things. Things we need to be aware of in the summer is dehydration. Everyone likes being outside in the hot sun and having fun, but you need to be real careful. You can get dehydrated very easily, which can cause people to be lightheaded, passing out, and in extreme situations, having seizures. If you're a healthy adult, we recommend that you drink 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, pace yourself, take breaks, go inside, and in particular, be careful of the elderly and children. The elderly often are on medications that make them more susceptible to being dehydrated, and children just don't have the reserves that we do. So you have to make sure that you keep them in your thoughts and have them take breaks and keep them well hydrated. In the same way, when we're outside, you need to protect your skin. Everyone likes being outside and feeling the sun on their skin. It just feels nice after being in the winter and being quarantined. But you need to really make sure that you protect your skin using SPF of at least 30 on your children as well. That can prevent painful sunburns and the kind of skin damage that can lead to skin cancer. So remember to reapply often. When you go in the water, you should reapply, and in particular keeping your children safe by wearing sun protection. One thing I wanted to mention is in the hot sun, never ever leave your child or your pets in a car. Sometimes people think you can just crack the window and run into a store and do what you need to do. But we've already had across the country a few deaths of children being left in cars. So I just can't stress enough that you have to figure out a way to, if you're, set a reminder on your phone. I mean, the tragedies where people just forget when they drop kids off at daycare. Do whatever you can to remember that you may have an infant in the back of your car. We know when we're out having fun, like riding bikes and skateboarding and rollerblading, which all of us love to do, although not all of us actually, but you really need to protect your head, protect your brain, and I think we all need to be good role models for our kids. So we need to wear helmets as well, so we model that for our children. That's important, not just for kids to wear helmets, but that we all wear helmets. We see a lot of injuries in the emergency department where people fall and hit their head, and sometimes with tragic consequences. And a simple helmet really can really be a lifesaver for people. Additionally, knee pads and elbow pads can protect painful scrapes and bruises, and sometimes even broken bones for kids. So if you are able to, wearing elbow pads and knee pads will be helpful as well. And then lastly, we all love picnics and 4th of July picnics, but you have to have food safety as well. Food needs to stay at the correct temperatures. Outside, food can stay out about 2 hours in the sun. If it's real hot sun, it really should be about an hour. Otherwise, you can, develop food poisoning. Things like dairy and eggs are breeding grounds for salmonella, and there's nothing that ends a picnic worse than belly cramps and diarrhea. So I would really, you have to keep your food protected as well. Wash your hands. Again, wear your mask this weekend and this summer, and I just hope everyone has a wonderful July 4th weekend. Safe, happy, fun, and celebrate, but do it in a responsible way. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Drew, for sponsoring this. Have a nice weekend.